Oh, welcome to Fish Hoek Squash Club. My name is Heinrich Groevier, this is Ruan Groevier, and I just want to give you guys a little bit of information about how the Squash Club works. If you guys are interested in maybe playing squash, then we're going to give you guys a quick tour about the Squash Club and just explain to you guys the process. Yeah, so if you are interested in playing squash or looking at joining the Squash Club, I think Fish Hoek Squash Club has been like over 50 years old. It's been around the block a couple of times, and I think we probably have maybe 400 members at the club. There's quite a big member base as well. And as you can see, we've got a big line of courts down this way. Side, we've got 5 courts over here. We've got another main court that we'll show to you guys just now. And then I will explain to you guys how the booking system works as well. I think just the important thing in terms of kit, what must the people have if they want to come play squash?
So most important thing is, I would say, the shoes. Just make sure that it is non-marking or doesn't have a black sole. Just to protect the court. And then just a racket and a ball. However, if you are a junior, so under 19, please, you have to make sure that you've got protective eyewear.
Yeah. So I think if you're just a member of the public and you think, maybe I want to go play squash, and maybe played in primary school or it's a sport that I'm interested in, you're always welcome to send a message through on the website or contact one of the guys over here. And we do have a full-time barman at the club as well. I think we're actually one of the only clubs in Cape Town itself that's got a full-time barman. Then you can always chat to him and he can organize somebody to play a couple of balls with you, because we know that squash is quite a difficult thing to get into. And we've got a nice community here, lovely squash players, and I think let's give you guys quickly a tour. We'll just show you some of the facilities at the club, or just do the process of how it works.
Yes.
Let's maybe head down to the machine, then you guys can see what the booking system looks like. Yeah, so as you guys come into the door, obviously we showed a little bit about where the squash courts over there, the doors on the right hand side of here. So as you come in this machine over here, so I think where all the magic happens in the squash club, this is the place where you can book sessions, and we actually have like an online app called GoBook. So if you want to book a session online, you go to the GoBook app, and then after that you'll make a booking. Once you get to this place over here, there's a place where you put your finger in over here, and then after that you'll be able to see a booking to confirm it. I think maybe let's take one step back. When somebody joins the club, what is the procedure? They're obviously going to complete the form on the website itself. What happens after that? Yeah,
so you will complete a form, and then you will receive an email with a membership number and a PIN. And then what will happen is someone from the committee will get in touch with you just to make sure that we can get your biometrics sorted. So we'll set up a date, a time for us to meet, and then we will just help you with your biometrics, so you've got fingerprint access.
Yeah, so then how it works after that, once you register on the system, you will obviously load money onto your Lights account. So let's say you load 200 Rand onto your account, then that thing automatically keeps track of your account balance. So every time when you come and play a game, you're going to obviously, I'm going to put my finger in here, then we'll activate my account, then Ruan is going to put his finger in as well, so that we can share cost between the players. Like I said, the cost for a game varies on the time of the day, but it's normally not more than like 20 Rand. I think it's about 18 Rand in peak time at the moment, but those prices do change over time as well. Yeah, so this is a very straightforward system. It's brilliant. You don't need to have anybody here to come and help you to switch on the lights. Everything gets done through this system, and the brilliant thing is you can book your sessions online, and I think you can actually book courses like 1 week in advance, because we're quite an active club. You can't just walk in here at 5 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon and think there's going to be open courts here. Unfortunately, you have to book forward in time, and I think that's the brilliant thing about the squash club, is that the guys here are very, very active. And I think, talking about active, I think we are quite involved with school squash as well. If you come here on a weekday afternoon in the winters, you'll see there's just kids running all over the place here, and that's obviously the future of the sport of squash, and that's why we love it when there's kids here, because they are the future squash players for Western Province. And I think let's maybe talk next about how all the internal leagues that we have at the club. I think the big thing, the big social thing for the club is our summer league. And I think summer league, do you want to maybe explain the format of how that works? Or before we start with that, let's talk about our social box league, because if you're a new member coming into the club, obviously you're going to be knocking a couple of balls. And I think before we even start talking about social box, let's talk about coaching, because if somebody walks in and they don't know how to play squash, what is the best way to learn?
Yeah, so I would say coaching is a big part of learning the sport. So we've got quite a few coaches. So you will see on the Fish Hoek website, there is a tab sort of where you can find out all the coaches. I'm also one of the coaches here. So it's a great way to learn the rules, learn how to hold the racket, get your body in the correct position, just those sort of things, just to get your basics sorted.
Yeah. And I think just in terms of coaching, I think we're one of the few clubs in the Western Cape that's got a World Squash Federation level 2 squash coach with us. I think that's probably one of the big things about our squash. I think we all together have maybe about 4 or 5 coaches, but we've got one of the top coaches in Western Province, or highest qualified coaches in Western Province, which I think is something unique about just the coaching setup. Let's talk about all the different league stuff. Social box. Let's talk about that, because obviously once you come in, start knocking a couple of balls, you get confident with playing a game. Now all of a sudden you've got nobody to play with. What do you do? Because squash is a bit of a social, anti-social type of a game, because I come here to play a game of squash with everyone. I'm not coming here to make friends. So how do we get into the squash scene at the club? Right. So here we are at the social box board, and I think this is probably one of the most important boards in the club.
Yes.
Ron, talk us through what's happening on this big board over here.
Yes. So what will happen is you'll see at the end of every month, Robert will send out a message on the monthly social box group, and it's basically just a poll to tick yes, no. So if you do tick yes, for the next month you will end up somewhere along in these boxes. So what will happen in the box is I will have 4 or 5 different people I have to play for that month. It's usually quite people who's on similar levels, sometimes a bit stronger, sometimes a bit weaker, but we try to keep it as fair as possible. What will happen is you've got a whole month to play, let's say, those 4 people. So everyone's number is here, and then what happens is you just pop them a message, you say, hey, I'm available 5 o'clock next week, Monday. Are you able to play? And then what will happen is you guys will play your game, and then you will come and put in the score over here. So social box is best out of 5 games, or first 1 to 3 games. So it could be 3-2, 3-1, 3-love. And then at the end of the month, once you've played everyone, you will see all the scores will hopefully be filled in. And that determines who moves up a box, who moves down a box, and who stays sort of in that box for the month.
Yeah, so normally what happens is the 2 top guys inside that box move 1 box up, and then the 2 losers in the previous box move one box down. So in theory, you should end up in a box where the people are that's playing with more similar level. And I think that what's really, really good about the social box, if you look at this month over here, we've got 15 boxes. So box 15 is normally the place where you would start. So if you're new to squash, new to the game of squash, and figuring out how it works, you enter into box 15, and that's the learning ground of where they teach you how to score games, how to mark games, how to call lets and strokes and all that technical stuff. So I think this is a really, really amazing thing about social box. I think generally we, on average, you probably have about 100 people playing social box in our club, which means that in a month there's about 400 matches happening just in social box as well. So I think that's a really, really cool thing. The next level after social box, now we get to the big one, Summer League. So Summer League is probably the big social event of the club. How many teams did we have in? How does it work? Social Summer League.
So Summer League is we basically put everyone into different teams. So if you do decide you want to play Summer League, you just sign up, and then what happens is you get put into a team, or you can decide if you want to be in a team with whoever. So let's say team 1 and team 2 and team 3, and so it goes on. So what happens is in a team you've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a 6. So all the 6s being sort of your beginner squash players, all the way up to number 1s. Number 1s being your better players, your best players in the club. And then what happens is last year we had 17 teams for Summer League, so that's quite big. I think it might have been the biggest we've had. I'm not 100% sure on that. So what happens is we split it over a couple of months, and then team 1 will play team 2. So the number 1s play, the 2s play, the 3s, the 4s, the 5s, the 6s. Teams play against each other, and then at the end of Summer League you would have played all the different teams. So what is nice about that is, let's say you are number 5. By the end of Summer League you would have played probably 16 or 17 different number 5s. So it's also a great way to get to learn people that's on your level, but also a good way to get to learn some of the top guys, the below guys. So it's just a nice thing so that if I do walk into the club, then I know, oh, I've seen you before, how are you doing? Oh, I've seen you at Summer League. So it's a great way for us to get to know each other and just to be social.
Yeah, so Summer League entries, as soon as that thing opens up, it flies because it's not something that's only limited to our club. We have people from other clubs coming to play Summer League with us as well. And generally, I think for the past couple of years, every team normally has a sponsor that sponsors their team. So it's not team 1, team 2, team 3. Like this year, there's a lot of different teams, and every team's got a different sponsor as well. There's a couple of events that happen through Summer League, like social evenings, like an 80s evening and stuff like that, which is really makes a lot of fun. It's a very interactive thing, and there's a lot of braaiing and catering that happens in between. So I think that's probably the reason why Summer League is so popular. Let's talk about the next one, Club Champs.
Yes.
Let's maybe go to the Club Champs board and we can show you guys what that's about. Yes, so let's quickly talk Club Champs. I think that is the next step up from Social Box. So once you get into the Social Box and you start playing games, you play a little bit of Summer League, then the next big thing that happens early in the year is Club Champs. And the reason why we're using Club Champs, or the reason what it's for, we'll talk about that just now, but that's the inter-club tournament that happens during the winter. We'll talk about that just now. But let's quickly talk about Club Champs.
Yeah, so Club Champs happens nice and early in the year. It's basically just for us to figure out who's ranked where in the club. So yeah, it's a great way that if you've joined, you're not sure sort of where you will end up. A great way to figure out sort of where you stand in the club. And then we also use this to determine Winter League teams.
Yes. So let's quickly talk Winter League. I think how many teams do we have entered this year? I think Winter League, I think it's about 13 teams that we entered. I think we've got four or five men's league. We've got something like 6 master leagues. So master league is anything over 35. We have a big community of older squash players, not old, but they more senior squash players.
Yes,
let's call it that way. And we've got some juniors playing at our club, which is these kids are just amazing at what they're busy doing. They actually play in the normal Winter League teams as well. And I think so I think that's something that our club is really big on, to try and push for Winter League. So the Winter League is like an inter-club tournament. So we, like last night, we played against Western Province Cricket Club. The week before that, we played against Camps Bay. So then every team has got about 4 or 5 players. We would go to them one week to go play that side. The following week, they would come play at our club again. And then just inside the whole Western Province region, then obviously there will be one league team that will be the winner of that league then. So that is how the Winter League structure works in the Western Cape.
Yeah.
And we'll introduce you to Cynthia just now. She's the one who walked in to greet us. And so we've got Cynthia, who's the dedicated PN at the club. So if you do see her, make sure to greet her. She's a very friendly lady and she's always here willing to help as well.
Yeah.
So at our club, we're really privileged. One of you runs the pro shop at the club as well. You can see he's got a nice array of rackets over here. So whether you're a beginner or more advanced player, or if you need squash balls or anything like that, he's the guy to talk to. He's normally during the week, 5 o'clock until 7 o'clock, or somebody will be here. And you'll see that he's got an online shop as well called thechiefsports.co.za. So even if he's not at the shop, you can still go and order all your rackets and stuff, or all the stuff that you need. And if you need any advice about playing squash or how to grip a racket or anything like that, then everyone is the guy to talk to. You can see we've got an alarm system as well, so don't try and break in at the club.
Yep.
Yes. So at Fish Hoek Squash Club, I'm going to show you the rest of the court now, but this is our main court, Court 1. So this is where all the big stuff happens. We're really privileged. We're one of the only clubs in the Western Cape that's got live streaming capability. So whenever big tournaments are happening, we've got like a whole setup, live streaming setup that we do over here. But I think what I want to show you guys is just all the boards over here. So this is, we were talking about Club Champs a bit earlier. So if you do one of your sections, then your name will obviously come onto these boards over here. And I see, just looking back over here, the first men's champion was in 1972. So that was donkeys years ago. And so we've been playing squash for many, many years. Ruan's name is also somewhere up in one of these boards over here for runner-up, that side, So this is the ultimate place where your name wants to be, is on the boards here on Court 1. And like I said, this is the main court, but we'll show you guys the rest of the course just now. Yeah, so while we're busy recording the video, we're really lucky to run into Terry and to Cynthia. Terry, quickly tell us about the bar. How does the bar work? When can people get you here? How long have you been at the club?
21 years.
It's a long time. And you, Cynthia?
It's going to be 10 years now.
10 years, yeah.
okay.
So these are this is the backbone of our club, Terry and Cynthia. They're the people who make sure that everything happens. And you'll see the bar is known as Court 7. So
Yeah.
this is the last stop before you go home after you've had a good game of squash. And so Terry is always around in the evenings. So if you've got any questions, not sure how anything works, he's the guy that you come and run to ask questions. Yes, so what happens at our club? So once you've been upstairs, you've done your fingerprints, you decided you want to come and play, we've got really lovely facilities. On the right hand side where I'm standing is the ladies' bathrooms and the ladies' change rooms. That side we've got lovely showers, bathroom facilities, all that type of stuff. And then just around the corner, so all the courts are down this way and the men's changing rooms are this side as well. Quite recently we actually had quite extensive redo of the bottom part of our club. So we can maybe take a photo just now. We'll show you guys the video coming down here. So if I go down here, then all the doors of all the different courts are down here. So this is the place where the magic happens, and afterwards you can always come and have a nice shower. And I think this is enough, guys, of information for you guys to make a decision whether you want to join the club, whether you just want to come and play 1 or 2 games. And thank you for watching. Now I hope to see you guys at the club. If you do see me and the one walking around the club when you come visit, make sure to come and greet us as well. Yeah, so once you book upstairs, you'll see every court's got a number. This is court 3, so as you go down here, you'll find all the different courts. This one over here is going to be court 4, and then we've got court 5 and court 6 down here, and then we've got a nice water fountain over here as well. So if you are thirsty after you've played a game, and this is the place where you're going to come and refresh a little bit, because here is where the other magic happens at the club. This is our favorite meeting spot, the water fountain, because you definitely need that after a proper game of squash.